Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just a body punching? I was hitting him with body punching. I heard him actually he was crying in there. You're saying that Biggs was crying when you hit him? Yes. When did that happen? And perhaps the fourth round on.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
So that you knew you had him by that time. Absolutely, but I knew he was tough and taking those punches.
Sergey Productions.
Making woman gestures like, oh.
Let's go check.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another spontaneous edition of the Boxing Voice. It's a late night stream. The time is 10:06 p.m. Eastern time. So we're up late talking some boxing. We just got hit with the news that Adrien Broner may be taking on Sergey Lipinets in November, possibility for the fall. And if you're Broner, in my opinion, this is a good fight. It's a way to get back in the graces of the fans without actually having to fight Mikey Garcia. There will be a barometer there. Now he has Garcia to have given him the blueprint, plus Adrien Broner. This should be a fight that Broner would be able to take. And can he win is what we're here to discuss. You know the number to call in is 1-425-569-5241. We are talking the possibility of Adrien Broner versus Sergey Lipinets for the fall in November. I got my two co-hosts with me. Let me head on out to
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I've been doing this. I ain't been up and fell off. I've been through the Lennox Lewis era, the Nassim Hamed era, the Sugar Shane Moses era, the Oscar De La Hoya era, the Mark Anthony era. I've been through all the eras, and I still been telling you.
You do too much talking. The thing is this.
People want their subjective preference to be the objective reality.
HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Oh man, it's all about AB. I had to do one of those. But yeah, Adrien Broner, man, he looks like he wants to fight Sergey Lipinets, man. It's probably going to be the fight where maybe this might be another catch weight. It's another fighter from 140, so he's not fighting a true 147. So I'm really interested to see everyone's opinions and thoughts on this. What about yours, Mike?
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows count, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million. And I'm in.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo, what's good, family? We back with another one. It's your boy AB, about boxing, about bitches, about billions, about bullshit, to be really with you. But it is what it is. He's fighting Sergey Lipinets. I see a lot of folks in the chat saying that Lipinets lost this past weekend to Boone. So, well, let's get into it. Rob, you was there. Did you, no, Rob, Ron, you was there. Did you see the fight?
Yeah, I did see the fight. From when I was sitting at, it looked like he was getting outboxed a little bit. He looked very sluggish. It definitely looked like at that weight class he was having some issues moving around, especially with Eric. But I didn't get to see it from the camera angles. What do you guys think about it from the TV point of view?
I mean, he didn't look good. I remember, I don't know if we were doing a live fight chat or it was a live fight chat and we touched on the fight. I remember saying that this doesn't help Mikey Garcia because Bonet isn't a world beater. He's always been a late replacement. You know, we seen the skill in Bonet and we said if he had an 8-week camp, maybe he could be something, but he was always brought in short notice. This time he wasn't. And it showed. I'm not going to go on a limb and say I had him winning because I didn't score the fight, but I didn't have him losing, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. But I really think AB will probably knock this guy out. I know AB ain't got a knockout in a long time, but I think he just moving up, man. 147, he doesn't look that doesn't look overly impressive at 147 and the fight with Mikey. So, but like you said, Mikey laid out the blueprint to beat Sergey Lipinets. So I'm thinking Broner might get back on track with a knockout, possibly.
Do you think this would be at 147, or you think this would be at another catch weight, seeing the fact that they're both?
I hope that it's not. I hope that it's at 147 and Broner, stops his A-side diva-like tactics, making guys go up and down. But I'm not like Mike. I don't think Broner gets a knockout. Mikey didn't knock him out, and neither did Bonet.
I think Broner has more pop than Mikey.
Possibly. I mean, he dropped Porter late, but like you said, he hasn't gotten a knockout in forever.
That's true. Manny Pacquiao didn't get one in forever either, and shit happens. But I think the fight should be at 147, seeing as Sergey is moving up. You know what I'm saying? So it might be an advantage to Broner to just shrink down to like 147 because the guy is moving up to 140. Well, has just moved up to 147.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a better fight for Broner because he struggled with natural 147 welterweights in that division, so he's going to be fighting someone more his size in that perspective.
I mean, they're always giving him like that's Adrien Broner's career. If we look at it, it's like he'll take a tough fight and then get a couple gimmies, and then he'll be back with a tough fight. So like this, I don't think is a tough fight. But I'm not like Mike that thinks Broner will stop him. I just think that they're giving Broner this guy at the right time.
Mad props to Lipinets though. His last 3 fights, if it falls in order, will be Mikey Garcia, Bonet, and then a step up with Adrien Broner. So this guy's not ducking or dodging the big names.
No, he's here to make the money and to try and make a name for himself. But he's got to get more active. That fight with Bonet was flat. He didn't give us enough. He had comparisons to Ruslan, and they're just not there. Ruslan was a guy that, was high activity, high punch output. I didn't see that from Sergey.
We got a guy in the chat. We got a guy in the chat that says Lipinets and Granados would be a good fight.
Granados should have been Vargas's opponent since he's from like Illinois and, Chicago's right there. But that was probably too tough for Vargas. But, yeah, I mean, Lipinets, he's right for the taking right now. This one could put Broner back in certain conversations with the right win.
But how I mean, with the right win being a knockout, but if it goes 12, how do we rate Lipinets?
Oh no, I mean, if he does 12 John Molina style, I'll give him credit. If he does a Floyd Mayweather Canelo like shutout, you got to give a boxer credit when he outboxes someone.
And how much better do we think Broner is going to look with his second fight being with the trainer?
I don't know because Ron was talking about it in the production chat, and Broner and Gervonta look very healthy. Very healthy. They look like they've been eating a lot of fast food. So maybe it's not an issue because, look, the humidity in Florida is high. The camp is wonderful. They have a diet. They're following it. There's a chef. Maybe it's all good for him to go out there and, I don't know.
Either or. I mean, I think this is a fight that he can't afford to lose to. I mean, I think if he loses to Sergey Lipinets, it's pretty much going to be getting close to the end of his elite fighting. Even no matter how much of a draw he is, people are not going to want to see.
He can't even get a draw with this guy.
Well, let me read some quotes because this is all coming according to Lipinets manager Alex Vaysfeld. The opponents could potentially be 4 division world champion Adrien Broner. The next fight will be in November. We are negotiating the details. Possibly could be Broner. It's not the first time where a bout between Broner and Lipinets was discussed. So what do you think about that? That is information for me. I don't follow every tabloid headline. So I didn't know that Lipinets and Broner had been in negotiations in the past. But according to the author, they negotiated or were trying to negotiate before Mikey's fight.
It was after Sergey got that belt, and Al wanted to make. I mean, I guess Broner wanted to go back down to 140, and he said, because I seen it in the previous interview, if you're at 140, come see me. But that was after Terrence Crawford left. So.
Now, obviously, Broner was in discussions with a potential rematch with Jesse Vargas, but now with the Vargas going to DAZN's U.S. streaming app and potentially fighting Delorme, it leaves Broner out. And, you know, I guess the rematch would have been good. I'm sure it would have did good numbers because it was fresh in people's minds. But this, again, as a common opponent with Mikey Garcia, a good win sets a barometer. And it could at least get the discussions, whether he chooses to go down that rematch route with Mikey Garcia or not. If you get a good enough win, people will say, oh, this version of he did better than Mikey. Oh, he should rematch Mikey, you know, and that's what he wants. He wants to get back in talks of the elites. And knocking off Lipinets is how you do it.
How much do you think Broner has left in his tank? I mean, he's fairly young, but he has been boxing for a little while now.
I mean, it's hard to say, but he hasn't taken any major punishment. His issues have always been maintaining that discipline, that fighter's shape. I see in the chat someone there is saying Broner versus Collazo is a good fight. Collazo might end Broner.
I'm with you, Brandon Maurice. I want to see him fight Omar, but Omar is having his personal problems, so prayers to him.
I mean, Omar was a good fight. I remember they announced it. I was going to enjoy it, but in the back of my mind, I always wondered, did Omar have the power? Activity he has, balls he has, but power, did he have the power? And in this fight, at least we know Lipinets can hurt Broner. He can at least hurt Broner.
Yeah, I mean, and just kind of like a fun fact, Broner was at Sergey Lipinets' last fight. He was, so I don't know what he was doing. I didn't keep an eye on him, but there was probably a possibility that he was looking at him at that fight going, oh yeah, I can probably get this guy. And maybe that's probably where some of the stuff started picking up again in the news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, final thoughts on for this is it's a good fight for Broner. I'm happy to be reporting on this instead of, I don't know, Thomas Delorme versus Broner, you know, because we're used to getting Broner's comeback fights be tune-ups that he's supposed to win. At least this is not, you know, 70-30, you know what I mean? This is like 60-40 here. And I'm sure the 60% would sway in Broner's favor because he's more skilled. But there's so many intangibles when you're thinking of Broner that you just don't know, is he the true favorite in this fight? Those are my final thoughts. I'm going to throw it to one of you guys, and then we'll get out to the callers.
Final thoughts are for this fight is, I mean, I'm not expecting Lipinets to really come in and beat Broner, so I think Broner should win. But if he really wants to get his name back out there, it has to be an impressive victory. I'm leaning more towards a knockout victory, so that's what I want to see for Broner, and I hope that he trains hard and gets his body back in shape. Go ahead, Ron, take it away.
Yeah, I hope that Broner does take Sergey Lipinets seriously. I did read some tweets that Sergey was saying that he felt sluggish at the weight, seeing it's the first time he's at the weight. So seeing that he's competing in there, he probably acclimate to the weight better. So as long as Adrien Broner doesn't overlook him, take him serious, and doesn't do anything silly, he can't afford to lose to Sergey Lipinets. You know, he was a former champion and a kickboxer, and he's been through a lot of stuff. So those are my final thoughts.
In the comments, they're saying they're going to fight at Broner's weight. 2 weeks before the fight, it'll be 144 instead of 47. Oh, no, he said it'll be 144, then go to 47 2 weeks before.
Absolutely.
Yo, poor Broner. This is how people think of Broner. See, he needs to take this show as motivation, put it in his earbuds on his little Solo Beast 3 and get the hit in the track out in that West Palm sun. Yeah, Mike.
I believe that happened with Granados. It was like at 143. Then it was at 145, like the week of the fight, because Broner had got sick or some shit like that. Something happened like that. But
You know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Talking Broner versus Lipinets for the fall. They're looking at November, but this isn't the first time they've been in negotiations. Does it happen? I don't know. Up to you to give us your opinion on whether it happens and who do you think the winner will be.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Donald in Richmond, California. Talk to me.
Man, what's going on? I think that this fight right here can be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If Adrien Broner does not win this fight, I think he becomes a gatekeeper. I think that his respect as being a world champion in several weight classes is diminishing. It's losing. It's going away. Adrien Broner will always be someone who's a clown. He will always be someone who's entertaining. He will always be someone that will make you laugh, that will say some shit in the ring or say something to the opponent or very much entertain you at the press conference. But his clout to be a champion again, his clout to be that great is just going away. And this fight right here is like, it's either put up or shut up. And it's like, if he loses this fight, people are going to be like, the respect will be gone. I mean, even at this point for Lipinets to say, I'll take the fight with Broner is somewhat of an aspect saying, I can probably beat him. You know, and Lipinets shouldn't look at it that way.
Donald, thanks for calling in. We're giving everybody 1 minute. This is a spontaneous show, but great call, good points. We're going out to Ohio, the home state of Adrien Broner. It's Ohio Runs Boxing. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, man? What's up, y'all? This fight, this probably gonna be good for Broner. I wonder where they're gonna have it at. Cincinnati? You think they're gonna have it in Cincinnati?
I mean, it'll probably be Cincinnati or it'll probably be the Barclays. I think the Barclays more of a pick because they're giving good site fees. Broner does well in Barclays. Lipinets is, Ukrainian Russian descent. That's good population in New York. So it probably makes more sense than taking it all the way to Broner's hometown and expecting Broner to fill the seats all on his own, which he could. But remember, Emmanuel Taylor is black. So Lipinets is like a white Russian from nowhere.
Right, I was at that fight. So, I think Broner will win this fight. Hopefully he will win it. Last time Broner, he told me to put the house up against Mikey Garcia. Ness, I'm homeless. I put the house up. I can't bet. I'm homeless, bruh. I can't bet on Broner, but I'll be rooting for him. That's just that tight. And it might be at 144. Don't be surprised, man.
It better not be, man. No more Broner catchweights, man. I'm tired of that.
I'm out, y'all.
Ohio Runs Boxing. The city coming out for Broner. We're going out to Brandon in Cincinnati. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. Going by what I saw from Lipinets this weekend, should be an easy dub for Broner. Dude didn't look like he knew what the fuck he was doing against a C-level fighter. So if I had to pick in this match, I'd say AB should win this one easy, but that ain't saying much because I don't think too much of Lipinets. But, man, it's really hard to predict what the fuck Broner gonna do until he decides what weight he wants to fight in. He ain't got the discipline to stay at 140, and he's scared to fight top guys at 147. So right now, I can't really take him serious, even though he's from the city. I would rather see him fight like Figueroa, or probably I would have liked to see him get into that tournament at 140. So until this guy picks a weight division, man, I don't even see what the fuck we even taking him serious for. He's only gonna fight smaller 147. Or guys who's willing to meet him at catch weights who ain't really got shit going on really as far as title contention. So I don't know, but as far as this fight, yeah, I think Broner will win this one easy because I think Lipinets lost this past weekend.
Cut it.
Brandon, thank you as always for calling in. And yes, we're giving everybody 1 minute. So it's not completely a drive-by, but we're keeping it moderate. We're going to go out to San Diego to the home of our longtime caller, Ali from San Diego.
Ali Kumbaya. Thank God that nigga seen another day.
What's good with it, TBV? How's everybody doing?
What's going on, homie?
Another day, another
Yeah,
spontaneous podcast, Ali.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all keep doing a great job. But look, man, for me, I think Broner could win the fight, but I also think he could lose the fight. Like I don't see why anybody thinks that this is just an easy win for Broner because of who Broner is. You know, I can't count anybody out against Broner unless you're just a guy with like a horrible record with like 50 losses or some shit like that. But when you're a decent fighter, I think you got a chance against Broner. So I think Broner could lose this fight, man. And it could be the end for AB. But that's my call, though.
So, Carla, real quick, you're leaning more toward Broner not preparing right for the fight than Sergey Lipinets being better than Broner?
Honestly, I don't know who's better. Like, that's how much I look at AB, man. Like, I think he's a good fighter, but Broner's always in, like, a competitive fight for the most part. Even fights that he wins, they be close fights. You know, it's like I don't know, man. I just don't believe in AB like that. I hope he wins, but it's just AB's always in a tough, iffy kind of fight, you know? So we'll just have to see what happens, though.
Ali, thanks for calling in. We're going out to John in Long Island. Talk to me.
What's going on, guys? I like this fight, Adrien Broner versus Sergey Lipinets. I think it's a good fight, but I was wondering, whatever happened with AB, he was supposed to fight Omar Figueroa.
They both had issues outside of the ring.
Figueroa ended up having like a DUI or something.
Yeah, he had a DUI down in Texas.
Yeah, man, he's one of them guys that I was like always thinking that he was just gonna like blow up one day. I look forward to seeing him, you know, back in the ring. But all right, guys, that's my call. Thanks a lot.
I mean, listen, John, he's a fighter. So, you know, Figueroa started his career early. He shocked me early. You know, I picked Michael Perez to beat him. Michael Perez, you know, I learned early. Stop picking with my heart. Michael Perez was a Newark fighter. And I'm from Newark. So I watched him come up. You know, he signed the Golden Boy. They were treating him like an A-side. They took him to Puerto Rico. He headlined a few Puerto Rico cards. And then along came Omar Figueroa.
And I always like Omar too, but go ahead.
Battle of the undefeateds. I think they were both like 15-0, bro. And someone's had to go early. And Omar got the win, but he's never been the skilled fighter. He just outworks you. And these punches come from so many different angles and crazy things. Damn, Rubisky in the chat. Michael Perez is a Jersey bum.
Oh my God. But Omar definitely retired Robert Guerrero his last fight.
Yeah, but at the fight, Omar and Broner were taking pictures on Saturday, so they definitely were in contact on Saturday.
That'll be a good fight for both of them though, man. Like it's really a test of.
Well, what I was gonna say is that for Figueroa, it's still early. You know what I mean? I know he started his career low, but he was always such a big kid that even if he takes another year off, he could still come back at 54. He's Mexican and he's tall enough to fill out a 54. He's fought Earl Spence and beat Earl Spence at the Olympics in in the final in the tryouts or nationals in the amateurs. So he's got a little story there, you know what I mean? And again, he's Mexican, bro. They could do what they want with that guy.
The one bad thing I've seen about Omar, he had 2 fights in 2015. No fights in 2016 and 1 fight in 2017. So
yeah, look, he's got to get back to work for sure. They need to go to Peter Quillen route. But he can be a franchise. He had hand issues for a couple of years. Then he changed trainers to Joel Diaz. Then he didn't like being away from his family. Then he realized being close to his family, but now with Joel Diaz wasn't the right thing. So it's just like, you know, he's a bit of an up and down kind of guy right now. But I mean, whenever he comes back, like I said, there'll be a place for him in one of these divisions. Will he be able to compete with the true 54-pounders if he eats himself into the next division? I'm not sure. But he's still got that name. He's undefeated. Shit, that's a franchise for sure. So this has been another show. We got through it. Just a quick report on Adrien Broner's next possible fight in November. No venues or locations just yet. But I'm pretty sure Cincinnati and Brooklyn are the front runners. As Cincinnati, Broner needs a hometown fight. That's what he needs. He needs to get that hometown love and have them believing that he can be everything that he was destined to be. Man, I can't believe he's gone downhill. You know, I picked this guy over Maidana. I argued with fucking Robert Garcia the night before at the hotel, the Fighters Hotel in Texas, bro, at the Riverwalk. I'm getting drunk with Robert, and we're like just fucking going at it. Broner comes and sits there, and this is when me and Broner was tight. This is before I realized, yo, doggy, you out here fronting, man. You ain't really fighting. You out here fronting. Yo, so I picked him with all my heart right there in front of Robert. Nigga, when he got his ass beat, Robert ran up to me like a track star, bro. Ran straight up to me. It's on YouTube, too. You can check it. Look for it. He runs straight up to me. He's like, I told you, motherfucker. I told you. Now you ain't getting no fucking interview. I told you. And I'm like, damn, word is born. That nigga made me do push-ups just to get that interview at the end of the night. But at least he invited me in the locker room. I was back there with Maidana. That video did good numbers, too, man. Check it out. That's a piece of history for me, man.
That's a damn good story right there, man.
Yo, they walked Broner out. Everybody got them pictures when Broner's like this. I was there for that. I got the video of that too, trying to talk to him. And right there, that's it. I think that was the night he said, motherfucker, we ain't never gonna be friends ever again. You see, I'm all fucked up. I can't even move my jaw. You trying to ask me questions. I think that's when he said, we ain't never been friends. Word is born. But that day was an epic day, man. I'm telling you, that day was an epic day. Keith knocked out Karas before the Broner fight. He swore he was getting a Broner fight. Did an interview with me. He's like, yeah, I want Broner. And then fucking he lost. Yeah, man. I wonder what would have happened. I swear I wish we could go in the DeLorean, fucking take Chino out for drinks the night before and let Broner win, right? Because remember, Broner was undefeated. He was running around. He definitely did interviews with me talking about, I don't want to be the guy to give Floyd the first loss. People really thought he was like a baby Floyd, a clone. So what was Showtime going to do? Was it really going to be Maidana Floyd? Or was the plans all along to be Floyd versus Broner, since it was plans of Maidana Broner on pay-per-view? So what I mean is, if the winner was Broner, where would he have gone? Because Richard Schaefer wanted Broner Maidana on pay-per-view. They flirted with it. A couple of articles came out. They shut that shit down and went straight to Showtime. Maidana wins. He gets 2 Mayweather pay-per-view fights. If Broner wins, what would have happened, bro? What would have happened? That's crazy. I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestorGTO. Go.
My final thoughts are not going to be anywhere better than that. So you find me on IG at Grouse1911 or at Twitter at Grouse2312. My run. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna make mine sweet because Ness just killed it with that awesome story. But yeah, it's just one of those fights right now that Adrien Broner, he needs this win if he does take this fight. If he doesn't, man, it's just gonna be a bad start for the end of his career. But that's it. Fighter IQ Media at Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/ThaBoxingVoice. You never know when we're going live. These guys are young and hungry.
And smash that thumbs up.
Peace.